Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. It's something to me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Undefeated. So y'all, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel and get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. All that for as little as $5, y'all. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Alright. Okay. Poor Redline. The game finally boots up, blaring the theme music. At least his ears are perked up now, though that might be from the sudden volume. Redline sheepishly chatters away about some of the lore behind the game. It sounds really confusing, but I'm only half paying attention. He stops on some menu. I think my internet is out? My phone's working just fine. It says it's connected. Do you think the new firewall is blocking me from playing my games too? I wouldn't put it past them. Redline sort of deflates in his chair. Sorry about that, Red. Maybe we'll get Bruce to learn how to play. I was half joking, but maybe that'd give them something to do together. Anyway, anything to keep Redline happy. He sets the big clunky controller down, gets up and stretches. Well, might as well go get ready for class then. Gonna try to get your ass kicked by Bucky again? He laughs and holds the door open for me. Bucky and Jesse too. I think I'm gonna have them seeing stars. The next few days go by in a blur. Redline's working out almost non-stop. When he's not sleeping or eating, he's in the gym. He's in the gym, the weight... God, get this thing out of my eye. He's in the gym, the weight room, even the swimming pool. He's up early and out late. No time to spend with his friends. Barely even any time to annoy me. Classes are going pretty well, too. Since the fight was on such short notice, Red and Bucky are usually working directly with each other. Apparently, the impromptu sparring match gave Bucky a lot of insight on how to help Redline improve. It's actually pretty interesting watching him while he's determined. He was always pretty focused in the classes, but with the fight coming up, he's gotten a lot more, intense, but in a good way. Normally, he'll goof around a bit, joke around with Bucky, be a little extra just to be extra. He's still got the cheeriness, but it looks like he's funneling all his energy into training. Diligence. Maybe that's the right word. The kind of guy that can focus his sights on exactly what he wants and put everything he has into getting that. Unfortunately, with those two working so closely together, that means I have to deal with the rest of the guys in our class. They're always reluctant to work with me, but I don't care either way. If they want to treat me like this picking teammates in high school gym class, then I'll be the adult and actually try to get the work done. I swear, one of them actually tried to hit me with full force at one point, retaliating in the same way, and the same way would just get me in trouble. I wish these guys could focus like Redline is. Somehow they've made it this far in their career. They treat it like some kind of frat house, whatever. Time passes. Redline trains. He goes to the weigh-in and... Bigger? Redline shakes his head. They don't list the actual weight, so I might just be remembering wrong. But I swear, Jesse looked even bigger than I remember him being. And you said he was already bigger than you. Yeah, maybe I'm just remembering wrong. I usually have a good eye for names and faces, especially someone as popular as Jesse. Are you nervous? He scoffs, flexing and patting his bicep. Who do you think you're talking to, Zan? I'm tougher than every chump down here. After posing for a second, he blushes and goes back to standing normally. Aside from you, of course, and I guess maybe Bruce. That's yet to be decided. And Bucky? I'd knock him out in the first minute. Confident. If that's the case, I'll make sure he knows about your plans. Redline laughs. There's that laugh. It's better when he laughs. The fight comes up quick. It was barely a week when they announced it, so the past few days have felt like a blur. Time feels weird down here. All we do is eat, sleep, and train. Sometimes I forget which day of the week we're on. I accompany Redline and Bucky as far as I can, right to the hallway leading to the immersion chamber. I wave them off as they enter the door leading to the catacombs. Well, not actually catacombs, but that's what they feel like. Just a long-ass maze of hallways and doors. Redline normally tries to drag me to the fights, but I actually don't mind watching them. The problem is everyone else. The rest of the guys are usually talking way too loudly and goofing around while I'm trying to watch and study the fights. You'd think they'd get rid of all that energy during training. At least I've gotten good at tuning it out. I'm at the point where, unless someone bumps into me, I can't even tell that they're there. I enter the viewing room and see the inside of the arena is already on screen, so I hurry up and drop down in an empty seat as far away from the others as possible. Taking out water time. The commentator starts speaking off camera. Good evening, Fang fans across the globe. This is Brett Brock, your favorite Hawk, coming to you live from the Fang Arena. Brett Brock, my favorite Hawk. He's alright, I guess. He's been commentating Fang fights for a long while, at least for most of the time I've been watching. Brett's got a lot of ring IQ, and he also tends to provide a lot of insight on the fighters that other commentators would have missed. He keeps track of their records and history and tends to talk about things in a way that's just nice to listen to. The last guy before him got canned after he asked the cameras to turn away from a particularly bloody fight. Apparently his comments ruined the shot of the knockout, and they couldn't use it for promos? Whatever, Brett's alright. Definitely better than his co-host. And I'm Johnny Roar. Fucking Johnny Roar. This guy's a grade A creep. He started out as a video podcaster, which is a stupid name already. You make videos, it's not a podcast. Anyway, he's gotten popular over some Fang fights, especially when they started getting more and more violent. He used to interview the fighters whenever they could get topside to speak with him. He got popular fast, so Fang brought him on to commentate. Now he's working some kind of weird limbo position where he's in Fang part-time, just to talk over fights. Since then, the embargo on fighters talking publicly has only gotten stricter, so he doesn't do too many fighter interviews these days. They got replaced by interviews with, man, I don't even know. The last 3 guests on his show talked about how much they hate women for not putting out on the first date, then immediately shat on gay people for daring to look in his direction. His earlier videos had some actual insight into the fights, but now he's cultivated such a god-awful audience. It's just mind-numbing garbage. And he fucking sucks as a commentator. I mean, he's okay, I guess, but Brett had such a nice flow on his own, and now he has some homophobic influencer spouting off bullshit while he's trying to talk. I can ignore it, but it just makes the Fang audience garners a lot worse to deal with. Lots of guys hoping for more bloodshed and violence. Pleasure to have you here, Johnny. How are you tonight? I'm fucking stoked for the fights, Brett. You know, I've been flying all across the country these last few days recording stuff for the John cast, so I've barely had time to read up on the fighters. You mind filling me in? More than happy to. As usual, JR. Brett starts listing off the card that's about to play out tonight. Pretty standard fare for a non-title fight card. A few fights from each weight class. Most of the big events occur on a monthly basis. This one isn't one of them. And the final fight of the evening, we've got a Raging Redline headlining against 2-round terror Jesse. Who in the hell is Raging Redline? I'm just reading the name on the card, Johnny. They both laugh at that. Raging Redline. That's the kind of stupid nickname Redline would give himself. Two-round terror now. Jesse calls himself that because he barely makes it past the second round. Well, now you make that sound like it's a bad thing. Is it a good thing? We don't exactly have rounds in Fang. Thank God for that. But Jesse's fights have notably never gone beyond 10 minutes. Standard round length, of course, being around 5 minutes, but I swear, every fight I see this guy in, he's had them out cold by 3 minutes. Yep, Jesse's made quite a name for himself with his quick knockouts. I think it'll be interesting to see how Redline fares. Raging Redline? Ha! Yeah, that one. Redline's been with Fang for quite some time now, but still hasn't had too many fights. He's got 3 wins and no losses right now compared to Jesse's 14 wins and 2 losses. Jesse's definitely got experience on his side, but I know Redline's got a perfect record for a reason. Oh, looks like our first fight is about to start. The screen dims whenever the fighters step out of the elevators. I lean back in my chair as the fight commences. At least it's pretty chill in this room. The smaller cards don't always get huge audiences, so it's not too bad. Hey. Bruce grunts from behind me. It almost makes me jump. Had it not already been decently noisy in here. This seat taken? Without waiting for an answer, he shuffles through the row of seats, dropping down a few chairs away from me. Like, water time. No one else seems to notice, so I try not to either. At least he's not bothering anyone. Bruce really only shows up for the title fights. Gonna think of it, he's never had any of the Friends fights either. Why is he here? None of the heavyweights tonight are big names. None of my business, I guess. The fights should get started, so I settle in. Overall, it's a decent card. Some of the new faces, well, new to me, were impressive. One of them landed 3 cartwheel kicks in the same fight. Still not sure if that's impressive for him or for his opponent for getting knocked out by one, but impressive nonetheless. The fight before the main event was between a Rhino and a Tiger in the heavyweight division. Looked like an easy fight for the Rhino, but his ego was a bit too big and the Tiger was a bit too brutal. If I had to go into a fight with that much blood on the floor, I'd be a little unnerved, but there's not exactly enough time to clean off the cement. I always wondered how they clean that off. Bloodstained stuff pretty quick, right? How do they get the colors out? It's not like they can pump new cement every week down here. I guess they don't have to replace the whole floor. Maybe they have some kind of chemical that can clean that deep. Bah, who cares? It's not something I have to bother with. The 2 commentators are still chattering on about the last fight when the screen goes black. And stepping into the arena, first we've got the challenger, Raging Redline. Can't believe they're still rolling with that nickname for him. But sure enough, Redline trots out of the arena to the sound of some rock music. His stats flash up on the screen. 5 feet, 8 inches tall, and 143 pounds. I guess I wasn't too far off my original estimate. You know, I remember seeing this guy's fights while they were scouting him out, and I could tell he was going to do some great things. I mean, the guy's an animal. He's got stamina, he's got speed, he's got a surprising amount of power for someone his size. These lightweights, man, they're getting deadlier every year. We haven't been able to see too much of him, but that might just give him an advantage he needs over Jesse. Hard to research your opponent when you don't have much to go off of. Exactly. Ah, and speaking of Jesse, he seems to be stepping out now. Jesse stomps out of the elevator and stats show up on the screen. 5 feet, 8 inches tall, 189 pounds? This is supposed to be the lightweight division. Redline said that they both passed the weigh-in, but if this is a lightweight fight, he shouldn't be over 180. Maybe it's just a typo? That doesn't seem like Fang's normal level of quality control. Though they do have the system bugging out for my fights. Bruce is leaning forward in his seat. He looks pissed. Well, he always looks pissed, but so it's hard to read his face. Coming in at 5'8" and 188 pounds, This guy is a beast! I know we were chatting earlier about his knockout power, but he's just insane! Looks like Johnny saved Brett from having to comment on the size difference. It's even more apparent when both Redline and Jesse are staring each other down from their sides of the ring. And here we go, kicking off the final fight of the night! Come on, Redline, you got this, buddy. David and Goliath. Oh, I like this music. Damn. Redline steps in with his fist extended. It's customary for fighters to tap gloves before they start, a sign of respect. Jesse seems to have missed that day in class and instead charges forward with a fist cocked. He swings it in a wide hook that should have cleaved Redline's head clean off, but the hyena was too fast. Redline ducks under the hook, circling out while sending a parting shot to Jesse's body. The Puma was relentless, coming for Redline even after he tried to escape. 2 more blows fired at Redline's snout, both missing their mark just barely as Redline created some distance. See, that's how Jesse gets you. He just comes out the gate swinging. I've seen way too many guys take one too many from the start, and it just all falls apart from there. I think after that kind of predictable start, people would start expecting it. Except Redline just did. He's prepared, or at least he's as prepared as he can be at a 50-pound disadvantage. Once Redline's got a good bit of distance, he makes sure to keep it. Jesse's got an intimidating form, foregoing proper technique as he stomps toward the hyena. Redline's already circled out by the time he gets close. You know, water time. He's riding the gate, moving along the absolute edge of the arena. He can put a foot down outside it now and again, but if he's fully outside it, Jesse could close the distance and keep him there until he times out. Red's fast, only pulling his hands up if Jesse gets close. Some people might see it as disrespectful, but Red's not that type of guy, as far as I know. He's backed against one of the end of the ring. The Puma moves in. Redline ducks and circles out, hardly even bothering to fight back. Seems they're playing some tag in there. Redline's making him move all across the ring. He's playing a dangerous game, but I think I see the picture. If Jesse's fight only lasts for a few minutes, that means he probably won't have the energy to fight past that time limit. Once he reaches that time, he's gonna get exhausted, weak, slow. Red can piece him apart. Of course, he's got to survive that long. I doubt the first few punches thrown at Red would have ended the fight then and there. If the gamble pays off, Red will stay undefeated and make it to the next fight. Hopefully against someone his size. Just then, Redline stumbles over his own tail? What? Jesse's fist cracks clean against his muzzle, and the hyena staggers to one side. Oh! There's a nice shot! A few of the guys still watching the fight made a bit of an uproar. A mistake like that is usually pretty huge, and it's clear Redline's paying for it. Bruce next to me lets out a sharp breath. His gape is deep and tense. When it comes down to it, Redline has no shot of surviving more hits like that. He might be fast and have plenty of energy, but he doesn't really have the option of starting to a slugfest here and now, especially if he's flustered after that mistake. I silently think the stars are how useless deer tails are. Taking advantage of Redline's compromised position, Jesse follows through. His massive frame charges in with another fist aimed for Red's face. The hyena's got his guard up, blocking a blow to his face and another to his chest with his arms. That's still got a sting, but better on the arms than on the face. Jesse ends his combo with a kick to Red's ribs. Redline catches the leg against his side. Wait! The whole room freezes to watch. Before Jesse can react, Redline clutches that leg tight. He pivots on one foot, turning in place, releasing Jesse as he turns. Puma has no chance of fighting back. He hobbles on his standing leg, then ultimately gives in as his body is thrown along the floor, sliding outside the ring. If the floor is a typical canvas floor, that might be less painful, but we could hear the sound of skin scraping on the cement from here. Even as small as Redline is, there was some serious force to the throw. 190 pounds is a lot to drop on the ground. After how much Red has been running him around the ring, it was starting to show. Jesse's sweat left an imprint where he skidded. I cannot believe this! He threw him to the ground like it's nothing! Typically, after taking a guy down, you want to follow him to the ground and beat him unconscious, but Redline is actually backing away. And he's opting to let Jesse get back up. That's a pretty big gamble. I've seen some guys do this before, but it's usually just to piss off the other guy. But it makes sense, right? I mean, look at that guy. He's a string bean. If he goes to the ground with Jesse, he's gonna get rolled, pinned, and knocked the fuck out. Of course, Redline's playing a long game. If he tries to finish the fight, he's going to get overpowered. If he tries to prevent Jesse from getting back in, he's going to get overpowered. Oh, I'm gonna pause it right there, y'all. Oh, man, this is wild. Anyway, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye!